Now, World Bank Nigeria says Nigeria has a large electricity access deficit. The lender claims lack of access to the electricity grid affects 45% of the population, which accounts for about 90 million people. Large disparities exist in access to electricity between urban areas and rural ones. In order to bridge this gap, the federal government of Nigeria, Niger Delta Power Holding Company Lagos, Ogun and Oyo states have agreed on a bilateral trade to distribute 4,000 megawatts electricity to the extensive industrial and business clusters in Abara and throughout Nigeria. The Nigerian electricity supply industry's evolving regulatory framework and the declaration of eligible customers, according to the NDPHC, have created opportunities for the industry to revolutionize and end solutions that increase electricity access for Nigerian homes and businesses and lessen the financial burden on the federal government's balance sheet. My guest on the show this morning is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Niger Delta Power Holding Company, Mr. Chiedu Ugbo. Mr. Ugbo, it's a pleasure to have you on the show this morning. How are you today?
I'm very good.
Very well. Well, let's begin with Nigeria's electricity chain and highlight some of the key issues that are affecting transmission, generation, and distribution as we are today.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, we of course, obviously there are challenges in the sector. However, the challenges are more in the network area, that's transmission and distribution, than you have in generation. As of today, the installed capacity in generation in Nigeria is somewhere around 13,000 megawatts. Of course, if you add Zungeru, it's closing up to 14,000. So there is some significant improvement in generation, in generation capacity, not actual generation. You see that out of this 13,000, if you ask generation companies to come up, they should be able to bring up at least 8,000 megawatts, or between 7 and 8,000 megawatts. That's what we call available capacity. But actual generation today is somewhere around 5,000 megawatts. And that is because the capabilities to evacuate through the transmission and then deliver to distribution and end users limits that actual generation to 5,000 megawatts. So generation, it has no problems, not much problems apart from gas. But gas is a factor, availability of gas is a factor of the commercial arrangement in the sector, the liquidity of the sector, and what we are dealing with that, the government is dealing with that, the government is resolving that. Of course, you can see there is a Minister of State now in charge of gas. Those are some of the reasons that inform that. For transmission, a lot of investment is required, and the government is doing that through the transmission expansion plan. A lot of work is being done. There was some CBN funding again to expand the transmission network. Distribution area as well, a lot is being done, particularly in the area of collection efficiency. That's in the area of mass metering, which the government has also come up with Nigerian mass metering program. It's ongoing, work is ongoing. I can tell you, sitting at meetings with the regulator, they are focusing on that, they are monitoring that effectively. But that's the challenge. So distribution has challenge with the network to improve access in terms of having the poles and wires in place, injection substations, investment is required there. Transmission, we need more substations, we need more lines. In all these areas, my company, NDPHC, we've done a lot of work in providing transmission infrastructure. By the way, NDPHC implements the government's National Integrated Power Projects, the so-called NIPP. And we have tons of projects in transmission completed, many projects in distribution completed to improve that. But just recently, just like you mentioned, with this new government coming, His Excellency, the Vice President, thought that we shouldn't have stranded generation in the power plants. We should target industrial areas. We should target clusters. We should make sure that we bring this available generation to homes